and the way we compete. It's in the way we reach out and why we dream. Titan pride is at the heart of who we are.
Whether it's on the field or on stage, in the classroom or in the boardroom, Titans reach higher.
Good morning. Welcome to Cal State Fullerton's 2013 Convocation. My name is Jose Luis Cruz, and for the last 8 months, I've had the distinct privilege of serving as this university's Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. And today, I am honored to introduce our President, Dr. Mildred García. President García knows firsthand the power of higher education as a source of opportunity and a driver of social change. She is a New Yorker with Puerto Rican roots. She studied life in the projects in Brooklyn and pursued her dreams through education. She first earned an associate's degree in legal secretarial sciences in business from New York City Community College, and then went on to earn a bachelor's degree in business education from Baruch College, City University of New York, a master's degree in business education and higher education from NYU, and a Master of Arts in Higher Education Administration and a Doctor of Education degree from Teachers College, Columbia University. The lessons she learned in life and school led her to pursue a career in academia, where she has excelled as a teacher, as a scholar, as an academic leader, and helped extend opportunity to thousands of young and not so young Americans. As a teacher, President García has taught at community colleges, comprehensive institutions, and research universities. Currently, she is a professor of education at Cal State Fullerton, and previously was a professor of graduate education at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and a professor in the Department of Social and Behavioral Sciences at Arizona State University. She has also taught at LaGuardia Community College, Montclair State University, Pennsylvania State University, and Teachers College, Columbia University. As a scholar, President García's research and publications on the impact of equity in higher education policy and practice are well known. She has served on editorial boards for a variety of scholarly publications and been an active participant or consultant in the policy work of the National Science Foundation, the American Educational Research Association, the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, and other higher education organizations. As an academic leader, President García became the 5th CSU board-appointed president of Cal State Fullerton in June of 2012. Previously, she served as president of Cal State Dominguez Hills beginning in 2007, where she was the 11th female president and first Latina president in the California State University system. Prior to joining the CSU, she was president of Berkeley College in New York and New Jersey from 2001 to 2007, and earlier held positions at Arizona State University, Montclair State University, and the Hostos and LaGuardia Community Colleges of the City University of New York. Now, I did not personally know President García before I joined Cal State Fullerton, but I did know about her scholarly and advocacy work. She is a national figure with a strong commitment to multicultural alliances. She believes that these alliances, these coalitions, strengthen students' self-development, educational opportunities, institutions, and communities. Her past work and strong voice make her a much sought-after speaker and board member. Indeed, she currently serves on many national boards and task forces, including President Obama's Commission on Educational Excellence for Hispanics, U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan's U.S. Committee on Measures of Student Success, and the Association of American Colleges and Universities for which she serves as chair of the board. And now that I do know her personally, I must say that President Garcia is a force of nature. Those that have followed her work during her first year at Cal State Fullerton must surely agree. Her commitment to student success and higher education's role as an engine of opportunity is unparalleled. And I am convinced that her understanding of how an institution advances its mission through the concerted efforts of all its constituents, faculty, staff, students, parents, schools, policymakers, and friends from our local and global communities will serve our university well for years to come. Her convocation remarks here today will review the year that was, frame the year that will be, and set the course for our success. Please join me in welcoming to this podium Cal State Fullerton's president, Dr. Mildred García.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Good morning. Happy new academic year. I hope all of you had some time this summer to rejuvenate, spend time with family and friends, and hopefully take a well-deserved vacation. Before I begin my formal remarks, let's take a moment to remember those of the Fullerton family we lost last year. While I won't be able to mention all the faculty, administrators, staff, and students who were so prominent in the life of the university, I do want to mention our interim vice president for finance administration, Bill Barrett, our student veteran who also works and served as a student assistant in our outreach office, Maribel Ramos, and Monica Kwan, who was the assistant women's basketball coach. Would you please join me in the moment of silence? Thank you. As we start this new academic year, I would like to welcome our guests who have joined us for our opening of this new 2013-14 year. From our Philanthropic Foundation Board, Chair-elect Julie Miller-Phipps, and from the Alumni Board, President Teresa Harvey, joined by many proud alumni. Please, thank you for joining us. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the 33 new tenure-track faculty members who are here today. Please stand so we can welcome you to the Cal State Fullerton community. Will you 33 faculty members please stand? Thank you. You will note that they have special name tags. Please take a moment to introduce yourselves to our new faculty after the convocation at our reception. I also would like to welcome our new staff members. All new staff members, please stand and let's welcome you to the Cal State community. In addition, I want to recognize Sean Walker, Chair of the Academic Senate, Rahula Latif, President of Associated Students, and Paul DeLande, Chair of Planning, Resource, and Budget Committee for our new people, otherwise known as PRBC. Let's thank them for being here. I would also like to ask the senior leadership team to stand, and that includes the 3 individuals I just mentioned, as well as the cabinet, the academic deans, our university attorney, and the chief of staff. In particular, I want to highlight that for several of our senior leadership team members, this marks their first full academic year as part of the Fullerton community. And they are our provost, Jose Luis Cruz, Greg Sachs, the vice president for university advancement, and Lori Gentles, vice president for human resources, diversity, and inclusion. I thank every single one of you for joining us this morning as we begin the 2013-14 academic year at Cal State Fullerton. This summer, I traveled with my siblings to Puerto Rico as we decided to take a pilgrimage to the place where our parents were born. My mother was born on the island of Vieques, an island northeast of the Puerto Rican mainland. She left the island at the age of 4, so we don't have family there that I know of. My father was born on the other island to the northeast, Culebra. There we do have family, and with less than 2,000 inhabitants, everybody knows the García Ayala family. My uncle and many cousins are on the island, and they live a simple, happy, but extremely laid-back life. While tourists are just now discovering this little, incredibly gorgeous island, I can share with you that if you travel across the island, you will find beautiful, untouched, crystal clear blue and turquoise water, white sand beaches, warm water by the way, untouched, wonderful snorkeling. You'll see colors that are amazing, luscious fruits and vegetables, and exotic birds and flowers. As our family discussed our father, we continued to hear the stories of his childhood. My grandfather was a fisherman, but he also made good, strong moonshine from sugarcane, known as pitorro. And he sold both the fish and the moonshine, to those in the Navy, the islanders, and the tourists. My grandmother contributed the salary that she earned from ironing clothes for the military. They had 14 children, and my father was the one that excelled in school. I remember how my aunt would share my father's diploma with pride, the one they considered the smart one in the family. In Culebra at that time, you could go to school from 1st to 8th grade, and then you needed to go to the main island. When my dad graduated with honors from his public schooling, it was then that the economic reality of my family became more evident. They couldn't afford to send my dad to the mainland because they didn't have enough money for him to go and continue his education. He thus worked alongside my grandfather until he raised enough money to go to the main island, by then a young adult, where he found employment and finally met my mother. As my family shares my dad's story, he never lost the drive for an education, and thus he and my mother wanted to provide for their children the opportunity to receive an education neither one of them was able to obtain. I will share with you, they were both smart people. My dad helped me with my algebra and geometry homework, and I remember him buying accounting correspondence course materials, which was education's first attempt to educate adults through distance education. So I thought about beginning our new academic year together. My father's story continues to come back, symbolizing for me what we do on a daily basis. Together, all of us, everyone that works and supports Cal State Fullerton, we're educators, providing an opportunity. As educators, we provide an opportunity to a world-class education for our students. We provide an opportunity for our faculty to excel by delivering the best educational program possible and to excel in their research and creative scholarly pursuits and engage in community service. For our staff, we provide an opportunity to work in an educational environment that gives us pride for what we do, to grow in our chosen careers, and work to the best of our ability to give back to the university community we serve. And to our supporters and our alums, we provide an opportunity to give back and help us open doors to thousands of students we serve with excellence. This morning, we kick off the start of a new academic year, and there is an excitement that comes with the start of each new school year, with the promise of opportunities for our students to achieve their academic dreams, and this year is no exception. We have many important initiatives that will begin. We will continue many that started last year, and we will complete initiatives all headed towards our goal of becoming the premier comprehensive public university in the state and nation. We have much to be proud of, and our past year together demonstrates the opportunities we provide to every student who enters our doors and all who work here. Our strategic communications team has prepared a short video of the many accomplishments we had last year, Let's take a moment to watch. Wasn't that a wonderful look back at last academic year? Join me again in thanking the Strategic Communications team for putting this together and for the beautiful video they created that we saw earlier. I hope that seeing those images reminds you of all the great things that happened, the many successes we have had, and the hard work that you all contributed to those efforts. Thank you again. Before we discuss where we are headed this year, I'd like to spend a little more time in reviewing what we set out to do last year and check in to see how we did. Last July, we received our letter from the WASC Commission. While the letter commended us for many initiatives and granted us a 7-year reaccreditation, they directed us to address the following items: the completion and implementation of the strategic plan, setting priorities, establishing metrics and indicators of quality, and aligning the plan with our budgetary allocations. Further, they asked us to strengthen the assessment of student learning across the university, including data gathered and analyzed for determining the effectiveness of student learning and program improvement. In addition, they asked us to address our challenges in advising, especially as it relates to improving graduation and retention rates, and asked for updates on budgets and financial plans in view of declining state funding, as well as to focus on the diversity of our faculty. We are scheduled to provide the WASC Commission an update on these areas in our interim report, which is scheduled to be submitted spring 2015. Together as a campus community, we have worked diligently, determinedly, and intentionally on these priorities. And it's not only because of WASC, but because we believe these priorities are the ones that are aligned with our mission. Last year, at my first convocation at Cal State Fullerton, I presented 3 pillars that addressed our priorities for the year that included those WASC priorities. The first one, setting our priorities, completing the strategic plan, was at the top of our agenda, and we began it very forcefully last academic year. Bob Mead and Jenny Faust led the strategic plan steering committee, with Jolene Kessner serving as facilitator. That first town hall was held on October 12, 2012, with more than 400 faculty, staff, and students participating. During the next 6 months, the steering committee used the 25 goals already developed for the strategic plan as their foundation, created working groups, requested campus feedback throughout the process, and within 6 months, on April 12th, the strategic plan was unveiled to the campus. You should all have a copy of the strategic plan that was distributed this morning. Together, we should really congratulate ourselves for completing that plan in 6 months. And since that time, the senior leadership team has developed implementation plans. The implementation plan, which I will share later in this address, will highlight our direction for the first year of the strategic plan, and it will be posted and updated on the strategic plan website. I am proud of the tremendous work that was done to complete the strategic plan, and it will be instrumental in guiding us for the next 5 years. Again, I want to publicly thank everyone who worked on the strategic plan, who was engaged and involved, especially the steering committee and the working groups. We also moved forward in ensuring that the strategic plan guides and directs our budget allocations. I am pleased that the PRBC, under the leadership of Bob Mead, reviewed a joint presentation by the vice presidents in April, and subsequently they presented their recommendations to me in May. Last year, we determined that a holistic approach to our budget is in the best interest of the entire university and our students. I want to thank both the Cabinet and the PRBC for the adherence to this new approach, and acknowledge that the recommendations presented to me from the PRBC were aligned with the strategic plan. I look forward to sharing the specifics with the PRBC at their first meeting in September. I also promise to keep you updated on budget details through regular communications, as well as on our university website. My monthly García-gram, along with other budget-specific communications, provided updates to the entire campus as it was available. I will continue to provide those updates as we move forward. Last year, we also tackled the reason we all love what we do, and that is student success. Enhancing student success was and will remain the top priority for the entire institution, as is indicated by the goals of our strategic plan. A renewed focus on retention and graduation rates is underway through the work of several committees. The good news is that we see progress with the 6-year graduation rate. The 2007 cohort has already reached 52% and will continue to increase as summer degrees are posted. This is the highest 6-year rate in our history. Disaggregating that data, we learned that we are also on a path to increase our graduation rate for underrepresented students to more than 48%, up from 44.2%, indicating an increase of 4 percentage points. And our Caucasian student graduation rate will exceed last year's rate of 55%. While we all applaud this increase when we compare ourselves to the 77% average of the top 5 institutions in our Carnegie class, we note we still have much work to do. The Graduation Initiative Committee, co-chaired by Provost Cruz and Vice President Ames, with Professors James Rodriguez and Lynn Sargent serving as the working chairs, is busily on task. They are supported by faculty members who have started the work that will help us improve our understanding of the students we serve, as well as those we do not retain. Further, assessment of student learning is on everyone's radar screen, and we still have much work to do there as well. Documenting our superb work, not only to our stakeholders, but also to ourselves, is important in order to ensure program improvement, which is paramount to all of us. I applaud the Academic Senate for their focus last year on advisement at the Academic Senate and Academic Affairs Joint Retreat, as well as the creation of the Assessment and Educational Effectiveness Committee. Finally, promoting Titan Pride, friend-raising and fundraising was the third of the 3 pillars we focused on last year. The University Advancement Team, deans and vice presidents have kept me extremely busy, both on and off campus, introducing me to our many communities and stakeholders in order to increase the visibility of Cal State Fullerton. I have met with students, faculty, staff, alumni, elected officials at the city, county, and state level. 8 state legislators, 4 members of Congress, 3 Orange County supervisors, and many of the mayors throughout our service area. I've also met college and university presidents, business and nonprofit leaders, all throughout Orange County. I have been overwhelmed by the warm welcome I have received and know that we are building on the important relationships that have been developed over the years, as well as creating new ones. Our partnership with the OC Register has assisted us as well, as we are featured on every Wednesday, on many Wednesdays throughout the academic year. I will share that I received so many positive comments externally regarding the work of our faculty, students, and staff. It is exhilarating to know that your good work is read about once a week by subscribers to the OC Register throughout all of Orange County. It is also exciting that through innovative thinking and planning, we are bringing back a favorite event of the campus and the community under a new model. Concert Under the Stars has been re-envisioned and will become our signature fundraising event. Mark your calendars for Saturday, September 21st. We have been quite busy, so to wrap up our look at last year, I want to note some further accomplishments from across the campus. We have been busy recruiting new individuals to our campus, and along with the new faculty and staff, we hired 4 new vice presidents, a new dean of students, Tanatsin Osiguera, and a new director of athletics, Jim Donovan. In the College of the Arts, our production of Godspell was chosen by the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival as the best college-university production of a musical in the United States. The Princeton Review ranked my Halo College of Business and Economics as one of the best business schools in the United States for the 7th consecutive year. And U.S. News and World Report ranked the online MS Information Technology program number 5th in the nation and the 1st in California. The College of Communications is ranked number 1 in the nation in awarding journalism communication bachelor's degrees to Latinos by Hispanic Outlooks in Higher Education based on 2010-11 data from the U.S. Department of Education. The College of Education and the College of Humanities and Social Sciences are collaborating on a $350,000 FIPSI grant, which was awarded and sponsored by Congressman Ed Royce, who by the way is an alum, to develop a Vietnamese curriculum leading to the bachelor's degree in Vietnamese studies, as well as teaching credential programs and bilingual teacher authorization. This is the very first Vietnamese studies program in the United States. The College of Engineering and Computer Science reached its highest enrollment during the last 25 years, thanks in part to its increased visibility among industry and the general public, as well as the superb job opportunities enjoyed by the graduates as at many Southern California icons such as Boeing, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, PepsiCo, and Honda Corporation. Extended education and international programs saw the number of international students increase by 15%, and students studying abroad increased 26%. Students came here from China, Vietnam, India, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, and our students also traveled to Vietnam, Italy, United Kingdom, France, Spain, Germany. Our international students are learning side by side our students, thus enhancing our diverse learning environment and preparing our students to live and work in a multicultural international world. It is very encouraging to see that study abroad interest is also increasing from Ireland, Costa Rica, Japan, and Brazil. The College of Health and Human Development is collaborating with the University of California's Irvine Chow Family Comprehensive Cancer Center on a 4-year, $1.4 million effort to fund studies that reduce cancer health disparities in California. We received approval from the Board of Trustees in July to purchase the Banting Building and to stabilize our commitment to the Irvine campus. I am pleased to share that the nearly 140,000 square foot Banting Building and 12.5 acres is now part of our university infrastructure. Students from the College of Natural Science and Math presented 129 papers and posters at 24 different professional meetings and conferences, winning 21 awards for their outstanding presentations. Academic Affairs managed the proposal submission to CSU's Enrollment Bottleneck Solutions Initiative that resulted in approximately $1 million in new funding for faculty-driven student success initiatives. I've approved tenure and promotion awards to 78 distinguished faculty members and retained 77 faculty members that are progressing through the tenure track process. Under the direction of Administrations and Finance, Starbucks at the Pollock Library is scheduled to open later this month, and we've also closed on the purchase of Western States College of Law property. Student Affairs has completed phase 1 of a 3-phase re-engineering that is focused in positioning the team to increase student success as they continue to focus on serving our veteran students. In athletics, our baseball team advanced to the regional playoffs. Further, the division worked very closely with the 2012-13 ASI Leadership and Academic Affairs to increase library hours on Sunday. Isn't it wonderful that what they really wanted was more library hours on Sunday? Great. With the hiring of a new vice president, the Division of Human Resource Diversity and Inclusion was created. Information Technology completed the upgrade to the campus network, increasing capacity and upgrade our internet link from 1 gigabyte to 10 gigabytes. And University Advancement raised over $8.3 million in philanthropic commitments compared to just under $7.3 million in 2011-12. And our endowment grew to approximately $43 million compared to $34 million the previous year. Wow. It was quite a year. And those are just a few of the highlights from last year. Again, I am so impressed by the dedication of faculty, staff, students, alumni, our supporters. I thank you for the dedication, for the great work that you do on behalf of our students in our university. I remain in awe of all of you, and I am proud to serve as your president. And so now let's look at next year and our plans to continue to drive our strategic plan to reality. We are now ready for implementation, and that requires action. In order to be effective, we must deliver what we have planned, on time, on budget, while maintaining and improving academic quality, even in the face of unexpected events and contingencies. Based on our current enrollment data, we anticipate that by census, student count will be 37,700, comprised of 4,600 new freshmen, 4,600 new transfer students, and 1,650 graduate students. A diverse student population representing the changing demographics of Orange County, California, and the nation. During the summer, at the senior leadership team, at the retreat, we focused on the implementation of the strategic plan. And we came to realize very quickly that we had to pace our strategic action over the next 5 years. No, we can't do everything at once. Together, we reviewed each goal and examined our objectives and strategies. We determined that we would implement several strategies under each goal by ensuring we identify the members of the senior leadership team who would drive and focus on the coordination and implementation. Ensure the faculty and staff are appointed and engaged in the work. Determine if the university already has a committee that has this work under its purview, and hold the cabinet responsible and accountable to the president. I know that while we are all interested in the strategic plan and we all look forward to what we will accomplish together, we haven't committed it to memory. As I mentioned earlier this morning, we distributed copies of the strategic plan. So allow me to refresh our memories. Goal 1 states that we will develop and maintain a curriculum and co-curricular environment that prepares students for participation in a global society and is responsive to workforce needs. This year, we will be developing an operational plan and administrative structure that supports an assessment process that builds on what we have done, a plan to support the institutionalization of a mandatory advisement requirement, and implement a portal to provide access to information regarding individual academic, career, and personal development plans. So that's what we're going to do this year on the Goal 1. Goal 2, we commit to improve student persistence, increase graduation rates university-wide, and narrow the achievement gap for underrepresented students. This year, we will identify retention and graduation strategies at division, colleges, departments, and program levels. We will also conduct an assessment of curricular and co-curricular high-impact practices that are currently offered and determine the high-impact practices participation rates. We all know that the more students participate in high-impact practices, the more they retain and they graduate. This will form our foundation as we seek to ensure that within 5 years, 75% of our undergraduate students will participate in at least 2 high-impact practices by graduation. Additionally, we are hosting the 5th annual Closing the Achievement Gap Summit on September 20th, with parents, students, educators, administrators, and policymakers attending. Mijares, Orange County Superintendent of Schools, will provide the keynote address. Goal 3, recruit and retain a high-quality and diverse faculty and staff. Our most valuable asset at Cal State Fullerton is our faculty and staff. It is the reason why we created a Vice President for Human Resources, Diversity, and Inclusion. One of the first tasks for Vice President Gentles will be to develop, conduct, and analyze a campus climate survey, and then to collaboratively create an action diversity plan. This is truly essential because based upon the recommendation of the chairs, the deans, and the provost, I have authorized the hiring of 133 tenure-track faculty members in the next 2 years. The good news is that we were able to grant all the requests submitted. I again want to commend the Academic Senate and Academic Affairs on the topic of the upcoming joint retreat, faculty recruitment and retention. Further, we all have recognized that because of the fiscal crisis, we have postponed much-needed facilities upgrades. Unfortunately, our deferred maintenance has climbed to $150 million. However, we know how important it is to learning and to research that we begin to reinvest. Thus, this academic year, an investment of more than $500,000 has been allocated toward infrastructure projects that are time-sensitive and address safety issues and/or improvements in the delivery of instruction that will impact more than 13,200 students, faculty, staff, and community members. Goal 4, we commit to increase revenue through fundraising, entrepreneurial activities, grants, and contracts. Our university advancement team this year will be increasing their fundraising revenues and creating a university-wide marketing plan. After consultation and input, we are bringing back, as I mentioned earlier, Concert Under the Stars on Saturday, September 21st, as our signature fundraising event. The school's first federal credit union has underwritten the cost of all open lawn seating, so all of you can enjoy the evening for free from the lawn. Or you can use your faculty and staff discount to purchase reserved chairs for $10 savings. It's a $15 savings for $10, for $15 savings. I hope you all join us for a great show by our students and a great show of Titan pride. In addition to our strategic plan initiatives, we will be conducting numerous searches, which include the faculty and staff I mentioned, and including administrators such as the Vice President for Finance Administration, the Dean of Math and Natural Sciences, Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, Dean of the College of the Arts, Associate Vice President for Academic Programs, Associate Vice President for Research, Creative Activities, and Technology Transfer, Deputy Provost, Associate Vice President for Human Resources, Diversity, and Inclusion, Associate Vice President for Labor Relations, Associate Vice President for Information Technology, and the University Librarian. I would like to pause a moment to thank those from the senior leadership team that served Cal State Fullerton so well and have decided to retire. Dean Angela de la Volpe, Richard Pollock, our University Librarian, and at the end of this academic year, Dean Joe Arnold. Please join me in thanking them for their many years of service. This year also brings some relief from the slash and cut environment we have had in the country, and in particular, CSU and Cal State Fullerton. With the passage of the budget by the governor, the CSU received $125 million. For Cal State Fullerton, it represents an extra $7.4 million in our baseline budget, which will address the most critical needs of the university, including the hiring of the 133 new faculty over the next 2 years. All budget allocations will be aligned with the strategic plan goals, objectives, and priorities as addressed in the WASP report. At the end of last spring, the PRBC provided recommendations to me, and I will be discussing my decision on their recommendations at our first meeting. As a result of our fundraising efforts, we are building also a great relationship with the Los Angeles Angels. They have generously given 1,000 tickets to an upcoming Angels game for our faculty and staff. Tickets will be distributed in the lobby following convocation, so please take advantage of this great opportunity to take your family or friends to a Los Angeles Angels game for free. As I close, I am excited about what is before us this academic year. Yes, it will be another busy year, but I promise it will be exhilarating and fulfilling work. Work that we will be doing together, enhancing the university we love. Beginning to implement our strategic plan will make us stronger, because Cal State Fullerton is that institution that embraces academic excellence for all the students we serve. We know that it is not only about courses taken, but about the deep learning that occurs as a Cal State student and graduate. At Cal State Fullerton, learning is preeminent. Thus, we believe that our high-quality education must be documented by robust assessment that demonstrates to everyone, including ourselves, what our students are learning. It is through our faculty and staff who excel in their teaching, research, and community service that our students thrive. We understand that it is through the nurturing environments we provide and our respect for all cultures that our students graduate fully prepared to enter their chosen professions and participate in the life of our diverse American democracy. It is these qualities of continually striving higher is what proclaims to the state and nation that Cal State Fullerton is moving towards being regionally focused and nationally recognized as the premier, comprehensive public university of the nation. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for joining us this morning, and I look forward to greeting you at the reception. Thank you.